All right, today the talk will be about force application and how that will benefit us in our delivery. Um, this is another thing I could talk about for quite a bit. Uh, Athletes apply force to the ground at a high rate. Um, that's one of the pillars of athleticism, I would say. Um, can you run fast? Can you jump high? Athleticism, right? And how do we run fast? How do we jump high? We apply force to the ground at a high rate that propels our body forward. Another aspect of it would be force manipulation. I guess, these are the two aspects in my head of force management, if you will. And manipulation would be your ability to manipulate the force that you put into the ground and decide now what we want to do with it, right? We know people that can run fast, jump high, but maybe have bad proprioception, bad hand-eye coordination, whatever it might be, anything else like that. And I would consider that probably force manipulation, right? How do I juke out a defender, right? That's manipulating force in order to uh, get away. So those are the two little pillars right there of force application or force management, if you will, application and manipulation. And elite pitchers do both of those very well. Okay. Um, there is a very close relationship between throwing and jump height, or throw velocity and jump height. Okay. If you jump high, you should be able to throw hard. It's somewhere in there. There's a very, very close relationship. It's almost 100% positive correlation, positively correlated. Um, so I know when I was a player, I didn't really work on my ability to jump whatsoever. I was fortunate enough to be a multi-sport athlete, so I did a little more jumping maybe than your average person or even your average pitcher. But I think that's something that pitchers should definitely emphasize if they want um, the ability to throw harder, the ability to recruit force from the ground and then apply it in a fashion that, works for the task, right? That's athleticism right there. So pitchers are athletes. Good pitchers apply force to the ground at a high rate and they manipulate force well, which is what all the best athletes in the world do. And there's that. Um, there's everybody's different. Everybody has their own biomechanical preference, and that's fine. Any biomechanical preference has the ability to produce enough force to throw hard. There is, in my opinion, an optimal uh, biomechanic, right, that is achievable for people. It's very difficult and maybe not necessary, but will be beneficial for you. It is definitely beneficial. You don't need this biomechanical profile in order to be successful, but if you did have it, it would increase your chances of being successful substantially, I would say. Um, yeah. And I think on top of this, right, the connecting piece of, so how do we apply force, right, in game? How to stay loose? Loose limbs accept force at a higher rate. They just accept force better. I mean, for the classic example is like the drunk guy falling off a building or whatever, where he hits the ground and he's fine because he does not tense up. The alcohol within him does not allow him to get tense. He stays loose as he hits the ground, stands up, walks away. Right. So that's almost proof right there that loose limbs accept force at a higher rate, at a better rate, safer rate, whatever it might be. And that would lead me to my point that when we're in game, we have to stay loose. And if we are not staying loose, then we're sacrificing our ability to apply force to the ground, in turn affecting our results, right? And in order to stay loose, I definitely say that staying loose is a much more mental process than a physical one, right? If the mind is tense, the body's going to absolutely follow suit, and vice versa. I mean, if you can convince yourself that you're out there hanging at home, whatever, wherever makes you comfortable while you're out there in a big spot, that could help you stay loose, definitely. I think it's important to note there that we don't want to be ignorant, though. We don't want to act like nothing's happening around us. We want to be intentional, but we do want to be relaxed. And however we get there, will be good for us. Um, so yeah, athletes apply ground to the force. Athletes apply force to the ground at a high rate. Um, Pitchers are athletes. We got to stay loose out there. I guess those are the three notes of this force application talk. I'm sure I'll touch upon this again.